morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Octillery. So today, it's finally time to take a look at that lovely Octillery card. Although we can't just look at that lovely Octillery card, we also need to look at a couple of other Rapid Strike cards, which are going to help out very much indeed. I've wanted to talk about this Octillery for a day or two now, but there's so much news, so much news in really quick succession. But like I said to you, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting through it at a nice brisk pace, but still making sure we go slow enough that we can really have a lovely chat about all of the cards. So Octillery then, what do we see? Well, we got a Rapid Strike Water Pokemon. It's got 110 HP, which is slightly lower than we'd like on a Stage 1, but it's an Octillery. A retreat cost of 2, which on the one hand means free retreat with Air Balloon, but it also means free retreat with that lovely Tower of Water card we looked at earlier today, I want to say, which reduces the retreat cost of Rapid Strike Pokemon by 2. So that's rather nice. The weakness to Lightning is not rather nice, but honestly, you're kind of low HP anyway, so it's rarely going to matter. Something like Boltund will get an easier KO, but other than that, I wouldn't worry too much. And being a water Pokemon, I mean, you're hitting weakness against stuff like Center Scorch, and you can accelerate energy with Frostmoth, but this is not a Pokemon that's being used for attacking. I mean, looking at the attack here, we got Water, double colorless, 50 damage. That is a lot of energy to just do 50 damage. And I know we can use Frostmoth, and I know that we can use that Rapid Strike energy, the one that provides 2 in combination of Water and Fighting energy. I don't even care. Octillery is not a Pokemon that is really coming around for itself. Octillery is one of those lovely selfless Pokemon that is just here to help others, with the ability Rapid Strike Search. Once during your turn, you may search your deck for a Rapid Strike card, reveal it, and put it into your hand. You cannot use more than one Rapid Strike Search ability each turn, i.e. no matter how many Octillery you've got out, this is not an ability that stacks. You can use one Octillery regardless of how many are on the field. The thing is, you can search for any Rapid Strike card, and that's ridiculous. Now, if you want to know what counts as a Rapid Strike card, look at that little Rapid Strike logo in the top right-hand corner of Octillery's artwork. If a card has that on it, Rengeki if you're in Japan, you can search it out with Octillery. And if it doesn't, you can't. So you can get yourself your Pokemon like Octillery, but once you got one, you only really want a second for if the first gets knocked out. You can search that Tower of Water card to give free retreat. That would work quite nicely. You can search that Rapid Strike energy. And this, for me, is the best use for this. Rapid Strike energy is nuts. It is double energy in the same way that, like, Twin Energy is, except it's any Rapid Strike Pokemon and it's not just colorless energy, and I love it. It is one of the reasons I prefer Rapid Strike to Single Strike. Also, I prefer blue to red, and, as I've said in a couple of videos now, Empoleon. So my point is that this is going to be superbly helpful. And this is one of those cards where, look, you got to think about bench space. And you got to think about space in your deck. I understand all of this. But as long as you can make space on your bench, and as long as you've got space in your deck, there is really very little reason to not play a one-off Octillery. Because especially after you've played one or two, these Rapid Strike energy are going to be hard to search out. They're going to be hard to find in your deck. Unless you've got an Octillery. Tower of Water gives free retreat. It's also a counter stadium. You want to use it to get your opponent's stadiums off the field. This will search it out nicely. Getting your Pokemon, your energy, your stadiums. The fact of the matter is, it looks a lot like, and there's no guarantee here, but it looks an awful lot like, if you're playing a Rapid Strike deck, you're going to be playing a lot of different Rapid Strike cards, Pokemon, energy, stadiums, etc. So why would you not play an Octillery? Trick question. You would. Also, please do bear in mind that this will be able to be grabbed using Mustard Rapid Strike stance. This is essentially Archie's ace in the hole, but instead of grabbing a water Pokemon and drawing 5 cards if you play it as the last card in your hand, it grabs a Rapid Strike Pokemon. though Octillery is both. So if you've got an Octillery in your discard pile, play this as a final card in your hand, whack Octillery on your bench, draw till you got 5 cards in your hand, and then search out the perfect Rapid Strike card. Love it. And even if you're just playing one Octillery and no Remoraid, and you're playing it purely for if you end up in a situation where you're able to grab it with Mustard, I love it. Certainly, if you're playing a Rapid Strike deck and Mustard is in that deck, I am going to need a very, very compelling reason if you're not playing at least one of these. Now, there are a couple of other cards we need to look at, and given that we are doing a video about Octillery now, it seems like a pretty good time to go ahead and just talk about these other Rapid Strike cards. I'd love to give them all their own video, but there were too many cards revealed at once. I'm just one man. Now, the lovely Antoine Boulet has provided our translations here. Massive shout out to Antoine as always. And we've got Fan of Waves. And this is a Rapid Strike card you can see from the Rengeki logo in the top right. It is an item card that reads, choose a special energy attached to one of your opponent's Pokemon and put it at the bottom of their deck. Oh, it's another energy denial card. It's kind of like a weaker version of Enhanced Hammer, but Enhanced Hammer rotated, or a weaker version of Lost Remover, but Lost Remover rotated. Enhanced Hammer took a special energy and discarded it. Lost Remover took a special energy and put it in the Lost Zone, which really did seem harsh. This takes a special energy and puts it on the bottom of your opponent's deck. The thing is, it's an item card. Now, one thing I should point out, even though this is a Rapid Strike card, there is no reason to just play this in a Rapid Strike deck. This is a really good card, regardless of whether it's a Rapid Strike deck or not. Obviously, this can be searched out with Octillery, which is awesome, but this really is not confined to Rapid Strike decks. This is a great card in any deck. And if you look at the ridiculous amount of Crushing Hammer that's been being played lately, that should show you quite how good Energy Denial can be. Now, Crushing Hammer can get any kind of energy, not just a special energy, and it does discard it rather than putting it on the bottom of your opponent's deck, but it's on a coin flip, and if you flip tails, this card sucks. So, against some matchups, you're going to want to play this just to get rid of your opponent's special energy. And it is very much worth pointing out that when we had Crushing Hammer and Enhanced Hammer before, people that really wanted to go for the energy denial would play a bit of a split. Because the fact of the matter is that Pikachu and Zekrom decks right now, they are playing Speed Lightning Energy. And some Zacian decks, not all, but some Zacian decks have started playing Coating Metal Energy. And that means that you can get rid of them and put your opponent back. It's not going to help you against Arceus and Dialga and Palkia. They are still going to be aiming to just attach one basic water and one basic lightning, and this is not going to slow them down, and that's a bit sad, boo hiss, etc. But there are going to be plenty of decks where this is going to work. Those fancy decks that just want to play Twin Energy and Triple Acceleration Energy, I'm looking at you, Mad Party, and a bunch of other decks along those lines, well, they are now going to be absolutely vulnerable to this. And I love it. Although, having said that, remember, Triple Acceleration Energy falls off at the end of the turn, so this isn't needed. But certainly, Twin Energy is going to be absolutely... well, it's going to be under the gun here, quite frankly. And that is awesome. This is a really, really good card. It's not going to be played as a 4 of in every deck. It's not going to be played in every deck. But those decks that are currently playing 4 Crushing Hammers, do not be surprised to see them putting in 1 or 2 of these. They're already playing Team Yell Grunt, why not play this? Incidentally, the why not play this has actually a genuinely very strong answer. It's because of Arceus and Dialga and Palkia. Arceus and Dialga and Palkia really is the number one reason why you would want to be getting rid of energy, and that doesn't work here, and that's a little bit sad. Boo hiss, etc. Just look at how much play Enhanced Hammer saw and Lost Remover saw. You'll see why this is a pretty good card. Definitely better in Rapid Strike decks where it can be easily searched for stuff like Octillery, but outside of that, there really is no reason to just not play this in any deck. Cool. And then we've got ourselves a lovely Pokemon tool. It is Rapid Strike Scroll Scroll of Whirlpools. And it's another one of those tool cards that we've seen a few times in the past that actually gives another attack. Now, it has to be attached to a Rapid Strike Pokemon. Now, one thing that is important to note, as it stands, and I think I'm right in saying this, correct me in the comments if I'm not, but unlike some special energy, Pokemon tools can always just be attached to anyone. The difference is they don't always work. So you can put buff padding on any Pokemon you like, but you only get the extra 50 HP if you've got a retreat cost of 4. Same thing here. You can attach this to whoever you like, but you only get the extra attack if you're a Rapid Strike Pokemon. What is that extra attack? 1 fighting, 2 colorless energy. This attack does 30 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. Nice. It's for those of you that remember, and it wasn't that long ago, but it's not as recently as I seem to think it is a lot of the time, it's Tapu Koko. And Tapu Koko was awesome. Now, giant caveat here, Tapu Koko was a basic Pokemon with free retreat that did this for just a double colorless energy, so we're not exactly in the same place here. Having a basic Pokemon with free retreat where you attach 1 energy, do this for a couple turns, and then carry on with your main strategy, very different from a Pokemon tool that needs free energy. Fine. But it's still really, really payable. Do remember, of course, that we've got that Rapid Strike energy I mentioned earlier that counts as 2 energy, and that will incidentally do the fighting energy. So if you can get a 3rd energy on there, be it with a Turbo Patch, or, I don't know, Frostmoth if you're playing a water deck, or Tapu Koko. It's a fun little one I like to play, although very few people seem to agree with me. And you're off and rolling at that stage. And then you've got everything you need. And I really like this. Let's take something like Empoleon. I love Empoleon. Empoleon's got the ability that turns off the abilities of your opponent's basic Pokemon without a rule box, i.e. it doesn't work on Vs, GXs, Prism Stars, etc. But the attack does 130 and moves and energy. It's fine, but it's not particularly great. Well, now imagine you whack this on, and as well as slowing your opponent down by turning off their abilities, you're also now doing 30 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. And that adds up very quickly. Your opponent is worried because they can't set up, and you're spreading all this damage around as you go. Yes, that sounds like an awful lot of fun. I don't think it's going to be the kind of thing around which you're building a deck, but if you're already playing Rapid Strike energy, it's that plus 1 more energy. So an awful lot of these Pokemon, you are just going to be able to attach this. And this is going to catch your opponent off guard. This is going to be the kind of thing where your opponent's got, 1 or 2 Pokemon on their bench with 10, 20 or 30 HP remaining. And they go, ha ha ha, they can't knock them all out in once. They can only boss's orders 1 Pokemon into the active. And then you drop this. And all of a sudden you do KO both of them at once. I adore this as a tech option. Building a deck around it? Not sure how much I love it. Playing it as a fun little tech option when I'm already playing a Rapid Strike deck? Yes. This seems like exactly the kind of thing that I can get behind. So let's go ahead and give Octillery, I'm going to give Octillery 5 Wossies. I'm doing it, ladies and gentlemen. I think it is phenomenal, especially given that it works with Mustard and it searches out any card. Also, how did I talk about Octillery for so long without mentioning the Octillery from Breakthrough that drew until you had 5 cards in your hand and was another really good support Pokemon? Don't know how. I'm sorry, that was dumb of me. I am going to go ahead and give the, what's it called? That item card that gets rid of special energy. What was it called? Fan of Waves. I'm going to give that. Oh, it's so good. I'm giving that between 4 and 5 Wossies, and I don't even care. We don't give half Wossies. That would be barbaric. Also worth pointing out, it puts it on the bottom of your opponent's deck, but that means that they need to shuffle their deck before they can even hope to draw into it. And I am going to be going ahead and giving this Pokemon tool, this Scroll of Whirlpools, I'm going to go ahead and give that 4 Wossies, because I love it as a tech option in Rapid Strike decks. And I am going to be making a Rapid Strike deck. And I don't see how I don't put 1 or 2 of these in as a fun little tech option. Maybe I'm too excited about the new set. Maybe this is all too high. I don't really care. I feel fairly good about it. But if you want to tell me I'm wrong, or you want to tell me I'm right, or you just want to chat some Pokemon, great news, there's a comment section. Go nuts. Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.